Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the monthly live with Change Your Minds Online. Today, we are talking about the mental state of mind. Yes. And so, we want to invite you to join this conversation with us today. I mean, it's getting ready to be great. So, I'm going to let Vanessa get started with us today.
How are you doing, Keena? Are you ready for this conversation,
I'm
girl?
ready for the conversation. You know, I'm always ready. I'm
All
always
right,
ready.
all right. Well, May is the month of about mental. I never want to say disorder, but mental state of mind.
Hmm.
Um, and we need to talk about this. So many people are not talking about it. So many people are not being transparent about it. So many people are going through, especially with the pandemic that's going on. And
Yes.
so we need to have this conversation. And, Dr. Finch and I, we always have a conversation on how we can be able to give you great value in our monthly live messages. And mental state of mind came to us. And it was like, this is a conversation that we have to have. So
Mhm.
many people are laid off. So many people are in businesses, their events have been canceled, or they have to go another route, or people have lost money, or people are not making any money. Whatever the case may be, their mental has made a mental shift in this state that we are dealing with right now, right?
Mhm.
So we need to be able to come together to be able to give you guys something that could be able to help you along this journey that we all are dealing with in some type of shape, form, or fashion. So let's talk about it. How many of you have experienced something where you just didn't even know if you was coming or going? How many of you are trying to juggle just to be able to stay afloat? How many of you are trying to or tired of hearing that this may happen, this may not happen? You're being pulled, you're being tugged, right? You don't know if you're coming. You don't know if you should leave. You don't know if you should turn the news off. Should you just get off of social media? You just don't know because you are bombarded with so much information. We want to come to encourage you today. You are not alone.
Mhm.
You are definitely not alone. When this mental situation happened with this pandemic, this was your wake up call. This was our wake up call. And so, what are you going to be able to do now that we are dealing with this pandemic? But I need you to also understand that it's not just this pandemic, it's the overall situation. Because once this pandemic is over, we don't know when it's going to be over. But once it is over, there's still some things that you will be battling with because you were afraid to face it. I had a conversation with somebody today, and it struck a chord with both of us. What are you doing to reflect on your reflection? What are you doing to reflect on your reflection? Let me break that down for you. When you have to reflect, you have to look in the mirror at the person that you are looking back at. And sometimes we don't like the person that we see that we're looking at, but that's your reflection. It's your true self in the mirror. And what are you doing to be able to make the necessary adjustments so you can be able to really love the reflection that you see that's looking back at you? Again, what are you reflecting so you can be able to appreciate that reflection? You may not like the fact that you wasn't prepared for a pandemic. A lot of us wasn't. You may not like that you are in a situation where now more people, their relationships, whoo, baby, they're being challenged. Also, have you ever realized that there's more people where there's abuse taking place? That messes with your mental. But are you willing to be able to sit back, to be able to make the necessary adjustments and check on your mental? Dr. Finch, have you taken the time out to check on your mental state of mind in this pandemic?
Oh, of
And
course.
what have you done in this process of what we're dealing with right now?
Well, have I checked on my state of mind during the pandemic? Of course. I mean,
Yes.
you tend to feel some kind of way when you are isolated. You know, now don't get me wrong. I'm used to being by myself. I've worked from home for years, but when you are forced to have to do it, when you have no choice in the matter, it's a whole different scenario. And so it does play tricks on your psyche, especially if you're an introvert that loves talking and loves being extrovert that loves talking and being around people and doing all those things. Um, Now, at first I was in ecstasy. You know, all I had to do was leave to go get some food, you know, da 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 da. But then all of a sudden, people, you know, you couldn't be around people.
Right.
You couldn't you couldn't get on a plane, you couldn't get on a train, you couldn't get on the
Yeah.
automobile, you know, all of that, you know, to get to where you're trying to go to other cities. And then, you know, your city, because you know, some cities didn't even have the quarantine, you know, they lived just the way they were living. You know, of course, they were over there in the Midwest somewhere. But, you know, then you have places
Yeah.
like everywhere that I had bookings that seem to be closed down, locked down, you know, and in a tether. So, so it messes up with, it does mess with you eventually because your whole norm has changed. Your whole norm has changed.
Yeah.
and
Yep.
and it's kind of like now, especially when you live by yourself, now it's you and your thoughts, like all the time,
Oh.
all the time, you know,
Mhm.
all those things that you have been steadily busy ignoring and not
Mhm.
pursuing and not dealing with, all those things
Mhm.
like that, all of a sudden now they're staring you in the face because you have nothing but time.
Mhm.
Now, there are some people that were front line and they were just as busy. Or there are some businesses that didn't stop, miss a beat because they were already virtual or already had this framework in place. So they were
Yeah.
having meeting on top of meeting on top of meeting just to get, you
Mhm.
know, get things done that they had been putting off because they weren't so busy. But
Yep.
you know, they didn't have to worry about commute and all that keeping them from what they had going on. But
Mhm.
what about those ones that are built on you doing what you need to do
Mhm.
outside the home? And now
Yep.
you're stuck here doing what?
Mhm.
You know?
Yep. It's different. Very, very different.
So now what do you do with that? And then the next thing is, do are you going to be productive with this situation?
Yeah.
So because okay, I'm gonna use my example, Sue. You know, we might as well just be real and raw today. So I'm an emotional eater.
Mhm.
So anytime that I have those thoughts creeping in my head or whatever, I go eat. Well, you can't just go out there and go get your big pint of ice cream because you don't know if your store gonna be closed.
Mhm.
You know, and
Yep.
and people don't. So when your crutch is gone, what do you have? But the thoughts are still coming. What do
Mhm.
you do with it?
Yep.
This might be a good time for you to think about it and develop, you know,
Mhm.
another coping mechanism. Better yet, deal with it.
Ooh.
This was a good time. This was a great time to all of a sudden wake up and say,
Mhm.
look, I'm going to deal with this today.
Mhm.
Because one thing I did know, that I do know about being an emotional eater, that when I deal with those things that I was eating away, then I have no need to, um, I don't need the weight anymore. I don't need the stuff on me anymore.
Yeah.
So I lose weight when I deal with problems. Craziest thing ever, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
And so why not deal with the emotional stress?
Hmm.
Why not have the hard conversation? You can't go nowhere. You got them.
Yeah.
You got them on lock. Besides the fact that they hang up the phone or they get off the Zoom. Otherwise, have the conversation. Get it over with. Get it done with. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's just a thought. So,
That's
what?
real.
Yeah.
That's real.
What do you think, Vanessa? What did you do when you were dealing with your mental state during this time?
Well, with me, I have learned something about this mental that I'm dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
I have already been here. I've been here before. So
Mm-hmm.
I was able to be able to address it quicker than later. And
Mm-hmm.
so I also made sure that I constantly do self-checks. I'm
Mm.
always doing a self-check on me and my mental state of mind because I know what happened prior to. So as this pandemic is taking place, I remember when I was just at a loss, trying to find out what direction I need to go and find out how I need to be able to build this business, self-sabotaging myself, being my worst critic, being my worst enemy, all of the above, not dealing with just the reality, but dealing with the reality at the same time. And too many people are walking around afraid of dealing with the reality of the mental state of mind. It's destroying us. That's what it's doing. Is destroying us. It's not playing tricks on us. It's destroying us. And so we have to be able to do those self checks on ourselves to make sure that we don't go down and stay down in that lane of being destroyed. It's just a temporary situation. It really is. But you want to make sure that you don't stay there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to stay there. Staying in a mental state of mind of depression is the worst thing that I ever experienced in my life. Um, in 2011, it was the worst thing, and I had to be real with myself of where I was going with this thing. And so I wanted to be able to do something different. I wanted to be able to not stay here. I wanted to be that person to not be self-medicated. I wanted to be that person to not be controlled by medication. I wanted to be that person, right? Because I know what it do to people. I seen it, you know, and I had to be real honest with myself of my feelings, of my emotions, of the direction I was going in. How long are you sitting in that bed?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get up today? Did you take a shower today? Did you eat today?
Wow.
Checking those things, that's very important. Who did you snap on today, and why did you snap on that person? What did they do to you to make you snap? I had to check myself because somebody wasn't checking in on me.
Mm.
You know what I mean? We got to check in on our friends, our loved ones. We have to check on them. It's so important to check on them because not only checking on them, it gives them that, oh, somebody really do care. Oh, okay. Somebody really is paying attention. Oh, okay. All right. So I do need to do something different today than I did yesterday. Or maybe the day before, I need to do something different. So when they check on me again, I could be able to tell them that I made a move today. I didn't make a milestone, but I made a move today.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know what it feels like, and it's so uncomfortable. But now that I know the triggers, that's my thing. Do you know your triggers
Mm-hmm.
to your mental state of mind? Let's be real clear with this thing. Do you really know your triggers? Your trigger could be like Dr. Finch said, some people are emotional eaters. Some people gain weight. Some people lose weight. Look, I do both. Gain, lose. I don't know where I'm going. I just know it's going somewhere. But at the end of the day, I had to be honest with myself. do you want to stay here? Is this the place that you want to be? Is this the place that you know that you find yourself not growing? You're not doing anything. Is this that place? Right? I need to do something. I can't stay here because as I stay here, I have my children looking back like, Mama, are you okay? And you know, we good to put, I'm okay, I'm okay. You know you're not okay because they know you're not okay. So do you know your triggers that causes you to go into that mental state? I had to learn my triggers.
Hmm, that's a good piece.
Mm-hmm. What's your triggers? That's so important. What is your triggers? Thank you, baby. What is your triggers? Very, very important. And once I knew my triggers, I was like, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that talking to a certain person who already tore me down will make me feel even worse. I didn't know that dealing with the death, I was slowly dying inside because I haven't accepted that death,
Mm.
right? Um, Being in a place where your financial has totally changed,
Mm.
that was a trigger, right? So, what is your triggers, Dr. Finch?
Ooh. Well, I tend to be, when things are not working the way I need them to work, uh, when I'm completely off, that's a big trigger. And then,
Oh, okay.
oh yeah, I guess it comes back from, I was always the one that did everything, and oh, Keena did this. Keena did this, it's not, you know. But when it doesn't come naturally to me, that bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
And
See,
then, also, like you said, people's reactions. Uh, the but the thing is, it's slightly different because I read energies. Whether
mm-hmm.
you're telling me what you say, whatever you're saying, and your energy is different, I'm reading
Yeah,
your energy, and that makes me feel awkward a lot
yeah.
of the time because that's what I'm picking up. It may not even be the words, it may not be the things, and a lot of people don't know how to control their energies. Because the energies honestly are more involuntary than the words that come out of your mouth. You can control your words, but you don't necessarily can control your energy. You have to be taught how to do that. Otherwise, it's going to be that natural thing. And if
Mm-hmm.
you are a person that picks energies up, then you feel some kind of way all throughout a situation, and you
Mm-hmm.
feel awkward a lot of the times. And
Yeah.
that is a trigger when it's not a good energy. That sets me off really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, well, why am I getting that? Why do they have that energy around me, but then they have another energy around somebody else? You just tend to,
Yeah.
but that's, but most people, some people don't have
Mm-hmm.
that point. They don't get
Mm-hmm.
that energy piece. So, they a lot of people don't know what I'm talking about, and they think that I'm weird when I say it. But I can but for those who know energy, read energy, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then finally, I guess when somebody I don't want to say it like this, but this is just what it is. When they try you.
Oh.
Okay, there are two things that get under my skin more than anything in the world. And yes, I'm getting ready to reveal the secret, honey. Insult my intelligence and insult my performance. I'm ready to go. And I cannot tell you how the delivery is going to come off when those two things are done.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a smooth clap back, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's a loud clap back. But either way it go, when you do it to me, you're going to get some clap back. And
Yeah,
I had
buddy.
that instance when in November, and and it just slid up on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I'm not in the setting to address this the way I need to address this. I need to get up out of here. And so, you know, it's something I would love to work on, but it is definitely a personality trait. It is a definite trigger. And the thing is, I remember you
Yeah.
for it. I remember you. I remember the
Mhm.
time you did it, where we were, how I felt, what you said, everything.
Ooh.
And that's
Ooh.
how deep
Ooh.
it goes. It's a big trigger. So, and some people have that. You know, you talk about, you know, life instances like death and things. Somebody, oh yes, I have to add this one in here. And then she said, when they think you lying and test you. Yes. Yes.
Oh, no, she
Come
no, she
on,
did not
Elaine.
say
Come on,
that.
Elaine. Join in
Oh,
the party, Elaine.
you don't get to check
Yes.
out. Woo, no, she didn't say that.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Elaine. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, this is a big one
Yes,
too.
this is
You know, or because some people live in a special reality all their own, and then you have
yeah,
your normal reality from which we all the rest of us live. And then
yeah.
sometimes they don't believe that, you know, the truth as what it is, because it's not the truth in their virtual reality. And
Mm-hmm.
I know, not virtual, alternate reality. And so then they try you. And you know, it's not your fault that they don't understand. It's not truth in their reality, but it's definitely truth in yours.
I'm not
And
gonna touch that one.
you know, I'm just saying. And
I'm
that
not
happens
touching
sometimes. That happens sometimes.
it.
But at the end of the day, as long as you have the receipts and the proof, it is. Because you know, we have to, but at the same turn, we have to deal with perception on that too. You know,
Yeah.
somebody perceived this situation this way. And
Mm-hmm.
I can give you an example. I had a disagreement with one of my old friends. It was just a miscommunication, is what it really was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I stated this, they perceived it as that, and then when I found out what the action was taken because of the perception, it was not the best. Okay, and then but we had to rectify the thing. But the
Mm-hmm.
point was, they realized that they had taken it as a miscommunication and they rectified the situation. That is the best thing. Okay. That's the best, you know, that was the best case scenario. It could have went so left. So
Yeah.
uh, Elaine wants to share with us again. Okay. So someone thought I was lying when I said my lashes were real and not fake lashes. They got up in my face and stared at my lashes to prove me wrong. Like, really? Has anybody else had an experience like that?
That is so sad and so disrespectful. Wow.
What do you think about that, Vanessa?
I think that somebody has some insecurities about themselves because they want those lashes and they have to go and buy those lashes. And since Elaine don't have to go and buy her lashes, you want to make sure that she really have some real lashes that she turned around and she was blessed with. That don't mean that gives you the right to justify and like be bold and disrespectful to the point where, am I lying? That's not, it's just not okay. Like a lot of people don't believe I was opposite right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's my mole. They don't believe that's my mole. It's my mole. You get it's my mole, you know? And it's just like the littlest things. It's like you want a mole, then you know, let me tell you, baby, what you can do to get you a mole like this. There's a thing that's called makeup. And you can just dot it on. Simple. Problem solved. But sometimes people are in the business of nitpicking.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the business of nitpicking. They have some insecurities about themselves, and you have something that they don't that you don't have to struggle with. So they got to go and pick on somebody else. That's don't do that. Because again, it goes back to You can really have a person adjust their trigger and snap. You know what I mean? So we got to be real careful as to the delivery of it. What is your true intentions? You know, it's good to have great intentions, but everybody don't have great intentions. For example, social media will put out this facade that, you know, if you don't really take the time out to build a relationship with that person, to get to know that person, then you could find yourself in a position of like finding out who that person truly is, and you like, wait a minute, what? But because they put up this facade and you wanted to be seen just like them, you follow behind them. You did everything they told you to do. You invested in them, and then they let you down. No, you let yourself down. Why? Because you haven't taken the initiative to really get to know the true person, not the person on social media, but by picking up the phone and by building up a relationship with that person. And so now you're mad. Not only are you mad, you're big mad. No, you got to blame yourself, because it's up to you to be able to really build a relationship to get to know that person. And we're not going to go there, but we could go there. It's so many fake people on social media that will do any and everything just to be seen. Mm-hmm. And they call themselves servant leaders. I'm just saying. Are you a servant leader for who? For yourself? Or are you a servant leader by God? I'm sorry. You looking kind of suspicious over there.
Y'all know she's serious. She get in the camera like it.
So suspicious. A couple of weeks ago, it was suspicious again. We seen another one was suspicious again. And prior to that, we seen another one that was real suspicious again. But so many people will do anything just to be seen. So not only did you do all of this stuff to be seen, now your mental state of mind is like, I would have never thought they would do such a thing. I would have never thought. But because they got a big following, that don't mean anything. Y'all need to stop looking at things for likes and start looking at the person. Did you hear what I just said? Start looking at the person and not the likes. Too many people will post stuff up just to see how many likes they will get. I could say some amazing things that happened to me today, baby. And I really don't care about the likes. Because my blessing, everybody want to appreciate it. Your blessing, everybody want to appreciate it. But you do what you got to do to keep your mental intact. Keep your mental intact. Not all this other stuff that's around it. Celebrate with those and share with those people who truly will appreciate your growth. That's what I'm talking about. I have over, I think Keena, you have like over what, almost 5,000 people? I have almost 5,000 people just on Facebook. We're not talking about all the people that we got on other social media platforms. By together combined, we probably have probably over 50, 60,000 people. We're not talking about when it's on our podcast. That's a whole nother number. If we turn around and put out just to be able to see how many people will like, I'm telling you, because we are so genuine, because we are authentic, because we are transparent, because we are the underdogs, we continue to get blessed. Why? Because we show up to help other people who understand where we've been. We're not here to tear down your mental. If anything, we're willing to be able to say, I understand, but I need you not to stay there. How can I be a servant leader to you? How many people do you have that you could be able to reach out that's going to check on your mental? I'm just saying, how many people? What you think about that, Dr. Finch?
You hit a couple of different topics in that. And I want to piggyback first off on the social media following. There have been people that have killed themselves off of social media. There have been people that went to jail on social media, that done shot folks on social media. Because they think that social media is just that real in their world. Please be clear from somebody who has been doing this since 2008. You can concoct a version of yourself very quickly on social media that may or may not be the truth. Okay? And
Yes.
it is it's so serious, in fact, that I've been watching Hallmark movies where they have the little child going off, oh my God, da 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 is talking to me about me on social media, on Facebook, and on this and that. Why is that a line in a Hallmark movie? Come on now. But because it is that serious to people, that people actually have to add that in scripts. Now, come on. It should not have that much bearing on somebody's life. It should not, but it does. But it does. And you have to understand that some people are following you like they were following Charles Manson. Okay? And for those who don't know who that was, I'll look up Wake Up. I'm not going into that story right now. But the point of this is that somebody may be that loyal to you. They never hurt you. Be that loyal to you, feel that close to you, build that kind of bond with you. And then you pull some on them, steal their money or take their this or do this there or do that there. And you can seriously mess with somebody else's mental.
You can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the live, joining the conversation with us. Now, this is real talk. Please be clear. We build authentic relationships with people so that they know that we are real people. But some people fake like they're building authentic relationships so that they can get your capital. Yeah, I said it. I did it. Come through with it. Write all the comments about it.
Yeah, I was trying to dance around it a little bit. Come on, Dr. Finn.
Okay. We can do that. We can do the dance, or we can be real. We can be real grown folks on this live stream. I feel like being real grown right now. Now, and then when they take it or when they do whatever with it, or they hurt your feelings or whatever with it, then you are feeling like, how stupid was I? And then when somebody real comes into your life that wants to help you, wants to change your life, you give them all kinds of the business because this one did it to me before, so you're going to do it too. Please don't judge people by what you experienced on social media by somebody who yes. Somebody put, remember Selena, her murder was her biggest fan. Exactly. You know, we have these moments. People really build relationships like that to a mental capacity.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you're putting this stuff out, be real. And understand the impact of what you are doing.
Yes.
Don't do stuff because you're trying to be cute or trying to get likes. And then they roll up on you one day and they can tell you everything you posted from the rooter to the tutor, and then you don't even know what you're talking about because that was just some fly-by-night post you put out there, but it impacted their life that much that they even remembered everything you said. I'm trying to say this, and I'm going real deep right here. This is not a plaything. When you build a tribe, when you build an audience, be real with them. You don't want nobody faking the funk on you. You don't have time for bait and switch. Neither do they. Neither do they. And if you don't want it to happen to you, don't do it to them. And there's a lot of people that sell on here. Don't get it twisted.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, okay, I may sell earrings. I may sell books. I may sell whatever. My mama is selling masks. But look, I put the mask out there. The people will pay for it. Mm-hmm. I put it in the mail. Mm-hmm. Don't get it twisted. I mail them out with my hands. I drive to the post office because that real for me that my integrity and my mother's integrity are kept that way. And if there's a problem with it, we get it fixed. Mm-hmm. We're not opening, when you open up your package, your stuff ain't tore up, tattered, broken, written all over, whatever, oily stain, whatever. If it happened in the mail transaction. It didn't happen when it left the house. But my point is, because I'm getting heated.
You're getting heated, but it's really the truth. The truth.
My point is, be real. Mm-hmm. Be real. Mm-hmm. No, it's not cute to sacrifice your integrity for the almighty dollar and hurt people in the process, because they do remember every time they're hurt. They may not remember every time they get a good satisfaction guaranteed situation, but they remember every time you hurt them. Mm-hmm. And these relationships that people are building on social media are real. People are finding their husbands online, okay? And their wives and they this and they that. Come on. This stuff is real to people. It needs to be real to you. Mm-hmm. So thank you for touching on that, Vanessa. I think that's very important. Yeah. And, I want to pop this in here. Integrity should represent the soul of who you are. Yes, I agree. Come on, Elaine. Yep. We need to make you the third co-host, honey. You've just been dropping them today. You've been dropping them today. Mm-hmm. Yes. And then we have Miss Cal here. She said, yes, be real. Yeah, be real. Oh, hi, Miss Cal. I remember you. Mm-hmm. Yes. I mean, come on now. We have to do this. You never think that people get fixated on things you would never think of. And it becomes real to them. And it becomes a mental moment. Don't discount the realness for people. Okay? That's number one. Don't discount it. If they are pitching a dog about X, Y, and Z, it's real for them. And it needs to be addressed, because they will also remember that moment when you ignored their realness, and that could trigger something else.
Yes.
Okay? So let's be completely clear. So you never know the words that come out your mouth and how they affect other people. You might think that's just the funniest thing. They just going off and you laugh. They remember all of that and it just starts spiraling. But they sitting up there smiling like this at you while you laughing. Yeah. And it's doing this. 6 months down the line, here they come. And you might be having some problems. It's just a complication that you didn't know was coming. Just because you made one little comment or whatever.
Yeah.
What you say on that, Vanessa?
Woo. I remember when we had a conversation, and this is what brought up this topic.
Yes.
And imagine how many people are not transparent to have that conversation. Mm-hmm. And it's like, wow. I just going through and just thinking about the things that I had battle with, and it's just like, man, what if my mental was not checked on? Mm-hmm. What if I checked that mental, right? Mm-hmm. Well, you and I would not have been able to have that conversation. It would have been a heated conversation. But I checked on the mental, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we need to make sure that what you put out there, the energy that you put out there, you want to be real mindful of that. When they have all these fake people out here on social media, people will spend hundreds and thousands of dollars with these foods. Let's call it what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then in return, they come back and you hyped, but you empty. You hyped, but you empty. But when you have genuine people that really can be able to give you some genuine value, that you can still reach back out to those people after the fact, you hesitate to invest in that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you have this facade. I need to be seen. I need to be seen. I need to be seen. But that being seen is tearing you up. It's tearing you up. It's destroying you. What are you really going to be able to do when it's time for you to be able to make that next level? Because there's a next level waiting for you to take the next step. You want to be mindful who you connect with in that next journey. You want to be mindful of the people that's going to be at the finish line with you. You want to be mindful in the transition when you're fumbling. Who's going to be there through the fumble? You want to be mindful that that extra push is just to push you to secure you. You want to be mindful of that because they checked your mental with you. They understand your journey. They respect that you was transparent to be able to share it. That mental.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be around those people. I don't give a darn being seen. I don't give a darn about none of that. Because the blessing is making sure that you are good. Because you entrusted in us to share that mental state of mind that you've been battling with for so long. Because you couldn't go to your family and them. You couldn't go to your friends and them. You couldn't go to your good girlfriends and them. But you went to somebody who was really intentional and being transparent and having integrity, and you seen their character to be able to say, it's something about them right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, but see, we God's favorite. I'm just saying. We, Dr. Finch and Vanessa Canterbury, we God's favorite. We want you to feel as if you're God's favorite too. That He has a calling on your life. That He don't want you to go through these mental challenges by yourself. That you are safe with somebody who's been through the journey to be able to be sharing that journey and say, dang, right now I'm struggling a little bit. They're not going to babysit your struggle. They're going to encourage you to push you to move on. I want to be in that connection.
Mm-hmm.
I want to sit at the table with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I want to be with. I don't care about. I want to be at that table with them because when I'm having one of my moments, can I pick up the phone at 2:00 and say, "Can you talk to me right now? I just need to vent a little bit."
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Finch, she texted me earlier today. I said I'm gonna pick up the phone. When I'm going through something, I'm like, look, but after I picked it up, something going on. What's going on with you? Because the energy is off. What's going on? What's going on? Because we are intentional about our energy. We're intentional about our mental. We're intentional of what we put out there. We're intentional about our relationship. Let me say, like, go ahead. No homo. But we're intentional about that. We're intentional. Because we want to make sure we work hard to build a relationship because we know what it looks like to have be careful with this word, the fakeness in the relationship. We already experienced that before with other people. Right. So we're intentional to make sure that is not duplicated in our relationship, in our businesses, and who the people who we connect with. Be intentional. Be intentional about your connection. If they can't check mental, physical, emotionally off the box and say, what's going on? What's up, girl? What's going on? What your goals are? How can I be able to serve you? What's going on? And not deplete you? Ooh, Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead, Dr. Finch. All right now.
Well, you
We
know,
have to be careful. Check your heart. Check your pulse. It's gonna be your pulse or your peace. Pick one. Your pulse or your peace. Pick one. Well, I want some peace. You want some peace, Dr. Finch?
oh yeah, definitely want some
Okay.
peace. Definitely
Because
want some peace.
we've seen the fakeness on social media. Oh, we've seen the fakeness. The fakeness is real. The fakeness is coming out of the woodwork like no tomorrow in this pandemic. People are desperate trying to find out how they're going to feed their families, how they're going to survive, how long this thing going to stay here. People are desperate. But not only desperate, they got some thirsty people out there willing to take advantage of you.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
I got to charge this thing. Go ahead.
All right, go right. Well, thank you, Vanessa. You know, you brought up some really good points about the fakeness. You know, I don't even know how to start this, so I'm just gonna just go right on into it. You
Yes, ma'am.
know, you mentioned about how we've experienced fake relationships with people. You know, people trying to, and we can go deeper with that. You know, people trying to get on, people trying to uh, use your leverage your stuff to get them in a better state of mind.
Ooh.
And
Mm.
see, Miss Kyle dropped this one right here for us. She said, check your intention because karma is real.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes, yes. And then we had Elaine said, walk on this planet to say where you want to walk in heaven. Oh, that's a good one. Yes,
ma'am. Dang.
yes, yes, yes,
Real. That's real. That's real. Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
And you
Thank
know, and then Miss Cow was like, thank you for the confirmations. So you must have been speaking her language, Vanessa. You must have really been speaking that language. And you know, I want you all to keep joining in on the conversation. We want to share because that might spark us to say something else too.
Yeah. Feel
And
free to
so,
share this out. You never know who need to listen to this.
yes, yes, please share it out as well. I want to go back to this one here.
Mm.
I'm gonna say that hit me rather hard because in the hustle and bustle of the world, you can sometimes forget how you want to walk in heaven because you are so busy dodging the bullets that's coming at you, the invisible bullets as well as the real live bullets. You know, those bullets that can cause emotional harm and danger to yourself, as well as the bullets that could take your life. But some people don't think that the things that they say and the things that they're doing can really prove an impact. There are so many people that have sat there and taken their life because somebody said they were ugly, they were fat, they were tired, they are has been. Nobody needs them anymore. You are absolutely worthless. Why in the world are you even trying this? Don't you know it's a hot mess? You know, and you know, all these things have been said about myself.
Me too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
You don't fit in. You don't fit in.
yeah, none of those things. You're just so weird. My grandmother used to tell me every time she saw me until the day she died, you're just peculiar. Your mama's peculiar, your dad is peculiar, you had no choice but to be peculiar. I mean, had a whole spiel about how peculiar I was. And you know, and the deal was she didn't understand me. So that was her way of putting it in there. I was the odd grandchild by every stretch of the imagination. And that's, you know, eventually became okay. But it's hard when you don't fit in. And you know you don't fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And you just sitting there watching all these people in this space that you don't look like that's related to you, that you don't act like that's still related to you, that you know you can't do nothing about being related to. You know, it's not like you can run, but and it hurts more when it's your family members. It hurts
Oh,
more. It hurts
ooh,
more.
ooh.
Yeah. But guess what? Let me tell you, my family members may not understand me, but I have a family of members that do. Sometimes you have to go out and find that family that is not made of your own blood, but are made of your own character, that are there for you when you need someone, okay, that understands your needs. It's okay. I have a client that posts quotes every day. And the quote that was posted today was, don't apologize for moving on and moving up. Okay? And then I was like, oh my goodness. That makes perfect sense. But people make other people feel bad for elevation. And because they feeling bad about their elevation, it becomes a mental thing. And they end up self-sabotaging themselves when they know that they are capable and ready to do these things because somebody else is telling them that they're not. Somebody else is telling them, well, if I'm not doing it, you shouldn't be
Yep.
doing it either. You need to sit up here and sit in my crawfish bar with me. Since I don't feel like elevating, you don't need to be elevating too. What time is it? What year is this? Come on. All I'm gonna
Yep.
put there with that is unequally yoked.
You know, I
You
know.
find out that there is if you are unequally yoked, don't be ashamed to leave the situation. It'll creep up slowly.
Oh, say that. I'm sorry,
Eventually,
say that again.
it'll come to
Say
the
that
head.
again.
It will creep up slowly,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
eventually it will come to the head. But
Mm-hmm.
please don't let it come to the head when you've been sitting there 3 years
Mm-hmm.
taking abuse slowly but surely, being the wingman slowly but surely. And then all of a sudden, now you on a whole nother word order. And see, this is right here. I love this, Miss Cal. Find your soul tribe. Find your soul tribe.
Yeah.
I have found my soul tribe. When I need them, they are there. When they need me, I'm there. And they understand my quirks. I'm an introvert, so I'm not necessarily that touchy feely type of, and I'm a techie. So I'm not necessarily a touchy feely chick, but I'm there to listen to you when you need it. And I'm there to give that sound advice when you need. And they understand. I have one friend just like, you don't get excited about anything. I need you to be excited right now. I'll be like, I am excited. but I'm there when she needs me, you know. And then we have this one. People's careless words are stepping stones to greatness. It may hurt, but use the words to elevate. This right here is what somebody with a strong sense of self will do. When they tired of being pushed around and tore down, they will take all those words that you meant for evil and turn it to their good. Okay? How many times have you had to do this? I think all the times of all the things that I remember all the times I was attacked in high school, college, working, corporate, all the things. And every time I learned to use that as a stepping stool to move to my next level. Oh, you thought you had me. Sorry about it. Oh, you
Mm.
thought that you had stopped me. Sorry you missed that mark too. So, oh, you thought that you had shut me up.
Wow.
I think I see me talking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And why is this mental state of mind? Because all this stuff is stuff you're telling yourself in your head while you sitting
Mm-hmm.
there grinning in the middle of that meeting. Or you sitting there grinning on that conversation. Or you sitting there grinning on that Zoom, listening to them talk all this yada, 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 you. And all this stuff is going on in
Mm-hmm.
your head. Now, sometimes we tend to get loud and belligerent. That's not necessary. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. For some people, they need that, and that should be the last resort. But sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's the thing about moving in silence. You want to know a good topic about moving in silence? Look at the story of Jericho. Oh, they sit up there
Mm.
laughing at the people walking around the building every day. They just sitting there laughing at them as they're walking around the building and walking off. Oh,
Yeah.
here come the fools coming again to walk around the building. But on the seventh day, they walked
Mm-hmm.
around and gave a big shout. And when the shout came, guess what? Everything moved and shaked and fell to the ground, and they fell to the ground
Mm-hmm.
with the building, with the city. So let me tell you something. It's a thing about walking in silence. Not everybody needs to know your comings and your goings. Not everybody needs to know everything that's going on in your head, but at the end of the day, they need to know the end result when you sit up there and smack them with it. Hello, somebody. Because you know, at the end of the day, you are where you're supposed to be for a reason. And I have no idea who's supposed to hear this right now. This is not planned. So just come with me. All right. So let me tell you something. Somebody needs to hear this today. Somebody is thinking that they are not worth anything. Somebody is letting somebody put them in a negative state. But I'm here to tell you, use that negativity as your footstool. Let them see that they did not do nothing but what help your elevation. When they were trying to keep you from being elevated, they were only helping you move to that next level. They helped you faster than you were going to go yourself because they lit some fire up under your tail and made you go to that next level, because nobody's going to shut you up. Nobody's going to sit you down. Nobody's going to hold you back because they're not worth that. All right, Vanessa, come on with this.
Let me tell you, let me tell you, let me tell you. I knew it was coming. I was like, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I knew it. You never know who needs to hear that message. Never. Dr. Finch and I connected, and when we connected, it was the most interesting thing how we connected. But when I tell you, God was really strategic how he connected us. He was like, that one right there. Because when we get together, if y'all notice at the top, it says the dynamic duo. We will come and we bring it. We bring it because we believe in you. We bring it because we know how it feels. We bring it because somebody needs it. And somebody have been missing this for a long time. Better yet, they probably never received it. So when you come together and you see us every month, when we come on here once a month, to be able to give you another topic, to be able to help you guys, to be able to move forward and whatever else that you're struggling with, whatever that you need to be lifted with, whatever that is missing for the month, we will be able to come and give you an overflow. Mm-hmm. We will give you that overflow. You will not walk away empty on our watch. It's just not happening. Because so many people are out here saying they are coaches and everything else. Oh, don't let me go there, but I'm going there. It's so many out here coaching, ain't coaching nothing. Ain't coaching nothing. And now people are leaving out worse than they came in. So many people have this title, but haven't yet earned it.
Don't do it.
They have this perception of themselves that you need to call me a certain name because I have this title, but you haven't earned that title. How can I call you that when you have not earned that title? And just because you have that title, what makes you think you better than the next? That's what's going around. We got to stop doing that to people. Nobody is better than the next person. We all want to be able to do something. We all want to be able to be successful. We all want to be able to reach our fullest potential. So again, you got to be careful who you follow because that pops up on your timeline. You got to be careful who you allow to pour into you because that comes through.
That's right.
You got to be careful. I'm really, really careful. If anybody send me a friend request, I don't just accept it because you send me a friend request and you got a cute picture. That don't mean nothing to me. I have no problem with going to look at your history of what are you posting, because that's what I will potentially see on my timeline. So you want to be very careful what you accept in your life. Just because somebody else say accept everybody who sends you a friend request. No. Just because somebody called you, you have to accept every call, and some of them came through a scam. Let's call it what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful what you're receiving in your life so you can be able to minimize your mental state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, when you go to bed, you want to rest easy. You don't need anything unnecessary to interrupt, disrupt, unwaver your sleep, your creativity, because you allow any and everything to come your way, because they have so many people out here that works behind the scenes, baby, to be able to find their next victim, not their next client, but their next victim. Don't be the victim because you choose to be at a weakest moment in your life just to be able to say, okay, I'm going to work with this person because they sold me on a dream. But something was tugging at you anyway to say, check your mental, check their mental, check their history, do that Google search. Don't be afraid of doing that. You don't have to explain that you're going to go do some research on that person before you connect with that person. Because I don't want to be connected with anything that's going to give me something that's toxic. If it's going to bring anything that's going to be able to be negative in my space, in my mind, in my conversation, I don't want no part of it. I don't care who you are. Again, that title, watch that title. Don't be the next victim. Amen. Amen. So I know we are coming up on our hour. I hope this really helped somebody. Dr. Finch, I know. It's a lot of people. There's a lot of victims right now. It's so many people that come to me, Vanessa, can you? Or so this happened to me because they are a victim. Somebody seen that vulnerability that was in you, and they turned around and took advantage of you. And then now you want somebody else you have to go to somebody else to clean that up because you didn't take the time out to go check their mental and pay attention to that gut, to be able to go in and do some Google. Maybe better yet, go in and ask some questions. Don't be afraid of doing that, because at the end of the day, you get to sleep well. You have to sleep well, and you don't need anything else that you already battling with that could be avoided. Mm-hmm. That could be avoided. Mm-hmm. Let's minimize this thing right now. Let's minimize this. I've seen so many people, Dr. Finch, you know, they over here got a checklist. Next victim, next victim, next victim. They got a checklist because people are out here desperate. The stuff that Dr. Finch and I seen the past couple of weeks will blow y'all mind. But see, we gonna keep our mouth closed because we already know they out there got their checklist. Checklist. And then I was tagging something else. And then I'm looking like, Dr. Finch, do you know about this? She said, oh, yeah, I know about this. I said, I don't want no part of that, baby. I'm not going to be nobody else's victim. If it's attached to somebody who, because they so-called gotta want to be seen, because at the end of the day, I need to walk away with my integrity and my character intact. The rest of that stuff, y'all can leave that mess over there. My mental state of mind, baby, I need that. I need to rest easy. I need to be able to wake up and have a conversation with my children, my grandchildren, with my clients, with my family, with my friends, whatever the case may be. I want to be okay with that. I don't want to have to be that person looking over your shoulder because it's going to catch up with you. And it's going to catch up with them eventually, but I don't want to be a part of that. So the mental, let's minimize that mental state of mind by anything's necessary. Amen.
Yes. So let's join our people into the party. All right, so let's get up in here. So we had people use your creativity for their gain. So be mindful not to give too much until proven worthy. Come on.
Stop.
Come on, Miss Cal. Come on, Miss Cal. And then she says, you are divinely guided, hon. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And we got to definitely some 100s. And then, when you said it was over, Vanessa, Elaine said, no, it's not over. Yes, honey. She said, no, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Elaine over there,
I'm silly now. I'm extra silly now, but that's okay. But this is the thing. Every month we bring you a different topic. We try to make it related to the time and the issue. We're going through mental health right now. And so we want to talk about the mental state of mind. A lot of people from our conversation, you can see it can go so many different ways. And it can attack you in so many different ways. But, we could have been like, so what are some of the best stress releasers and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, we could have. We could have did it.
Yeah.
And, but not everybody does that type of situation. And not every stress reliever helps everybody. So
that's true.
What does help is the fact that you talk it out. Getting it out of your head,
yes, ma'am,
out of that area. And that's what we were showing y'all. We were talking about our triggers. We were talking about what brings it to the table, what can start it. We did it in a comical and informational way. But if you caught it, hashtag catch that, okay, then you will realize that we were telling you some of the things to look for when you hit those triggers. Knowing your triggers are huge.
Yeah.
And then also pay attention to your dreams. Because it's amazing what comes up in your dreams that you are too scared to address while you're awake. And if it starts popping up in your dreams, it's something that you need to hurry up and handle, whether it's good or bad, because it is taking up an area of your subconscious that needs to be addressed. Yes. Yes. And then here's one thing. They want to join in. So sleep is a time for the divine to speak spirit into your soul. Don't deprive yourself of your moment. Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
People
yes, ma'am.
Doing talks about sleep studies. We actually have a friend, Dr. Pamela Caldwell, that speaks on sleep. So I'm sure she's going to be addressing that in her upcoming summit. So that's a good topic. And then here we go. Releasing emotional trauma that triggers you. Exactly. Exactly. We're going to have a guest on our show. Therapist, Tori Hatcher Smith. And she is going to be talking about traumas and how to handle those triggers. So definitely join that conversation, Ms. Cal, because I know you could probably bring something to that table. And this is some of the things that we do. We want to educate you. We want to inform you. We want you to put people out there that you may have never heard of, but are doing great things. Because there's a lot of people that's flooding the timelines with their loudness, but there's a lot of people that's doing a great work in their silence. And that's who we bring to the table. The ones that's doing a great work in their silence. Are you doing a great work in your silence? Then you need to tell me what you do in here in the chat, because I can't promote you. I can't bring you on the show Vanessa can't bring you on the show. I don't book people. You know, there's a reason behind that. I don't book, but but nevertheless,
Yeah, we know our lanes. Woo. Yes, yes.
so I do the tech.
We have the techie.
The booking.
Yes,
But nevertheless, Vanessa's screen game is the truth. But anywho's it. Now, we can't share, we can't support if we don't know what you do. That's the whole point. Now, that's the kind of stuff you need to be sharing on social media. What you do, how can you share? How can you help somebody? How can you promote them to their next level? How can you help them elevate? That's some of the things that we need to see there. Yes, I have this right here. Look, silence speaks louder than words. In many cases, it does. Yes, I totally agree with that. And a lot of people be doing all of this blah, 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 bark, 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 bark. And by the time something real comes out of their mouth, people are muted themselves to the bark, bark. So that they miss the good piece. Yeah, I said it. I said it again. Okay. Now, I did it. I said it.
But you know what? That is very true.
Yeah, it's very true. And the thing is, at the end of the day, people ask me, and I'm going to leave you on this today, because Vanessa's going to tell y'all how to find us and all that other good juicy gravy and all that. Now, somebody asked me, I don't see you on social media no more. You used to be on there all the time. You used to be telling us this and the. Oh, yes. I used to be on there all the time giving you the free. That's why you were looking for me. There comes a time when you have to move to another level of elevation. And you give the free when necessary and needed. But it's not an everyday situation anymore, because you cannot give away what people are paying you for now. That's not fair to the people that's writing the check. So if you have a business that people are writing you checks for, you cannot be just giving it away for free and expect people to continue to write you checks when they can stop writing the check and just go to your live stream or go to this and that and the other because you're just giving it away. No, you give a sample and you let them come to you for the rest. It's called scarcity, building scarcity. Think about it. Might work wonders. Now, but, it's just like Gary Vee says, jab, 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 right hook. Give, 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 ask for the sale. There comes a point where a lot of people gave, and now it's sale time. Does it mean that you're not going to be treated well? Does it mean that they are gouging you? Does it mean that they are trying to be a penny, trying to get in your pockets? No, they just found out their worth, and now they're charging it. They know that their time is valuable. That's the difference from somebody looking for their victim and somebody realizing that somebody has to put in an investment in order to really reap the benefit of what you're teaching. Because free is not always good, ladies and gentlemen. Free is not always good. And free is not always, if not, appreciated. They appreciate when they put skin into the game. And a lot of givers from the heart have to realize that the reason why things are not coming to them is because you are giving it so much free that they are not seeing the value in it. When you finally put a price tag on it and let somebody make an investment in you and put some skin in the game, then they'll really start hearing the goodness that you've been providing. Now, that is the difference. Don't look down at people. Oh, you don't have time to do a live stream no more. You don't have to do. No. But at the same time, you can't give away what other people are paying for. Just saying. Now, Vanessa, go ahead and tell them where they can find us and all that good stuff.
All right now. Okay now. So, I hope you guys really, really enjoyed this. This is something that we will do once a month. So make sure that you have your notification bells on all social media platforms. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. You will be able to make sure that you will be updated on all the things that we have coming up. Our podcast that comes out every single Wednesday. There's the in the information in the background, you could be able to go to our website to be able to get all the updated on our YouTube channels, everything, some valuable information. You want to make sure that you are following us because we know what's missing. So let's go ahead and replace some positive, powerful content that you can be able to really appreciate. So make sure that you follow us on social media. And then when you listen to one of our podcasts, you see one of our YouTube channels, whatever the case may be, feel free to leave a comment so we know that you're watching. We know that we're bringing you information. And better yet, don't be afraid to let us know what else that you would like to hear from us. So again, this has been absolutely amazing as always. We got some amazing things in the works. Don't miss a beat. Make sure you have your notification bells on. We are changing minds online all over social media. And if you're interested in being a part of the podcast, you reach out to me, Vanessa Canterbury. And then we can be able to see how we could be able to, if it's a good fit for our podcast, of those people who are making change via social media. This has been a pleasure. So Dr. Finch, there's our email address. Contact us at changingmindsonline.com. Okay. And so is there anything else? Did I miss anything? Because usually I miss something. The conference is coming up. Lord have mercy. My conference, we would have been live in Chicago, but it's not. But we are going to have it virtually. So you want to be able to know more about the conference, you go to bbuconference.com. We are putting all the information up there to make sure that you will be able to get your ticket still for virtually. It's going to be a jam-packed conference. If you are looking to be able to break any barriers in your life and or in business, that's what we do, one household at a time. We're going to tackle those conversations. This is going to be the second annual conference that's taking place. That it continues to blow my mind of all the things that is transpiring through this journey. So you make sure you get over there, and so you can be able to get the information. Make sure you get on the mailing list so you can be the one to get your ticket when they are available, which will be this week. They will be available this week. All the information will be uploaded this week because we just made this change because of virtual. We had no choice. But the demand, they are not playing. They are not playing. So I'm really, really excited to be able to bring this conference. And somebody named Dr. Rakita Finch is also going to be one of the amazing speakers with her, a powerful message. So you do not want to miss this conference that's going to take place on July 23rd, 24th. Is going to be a Friday and Saturday. And so stay tuned.
All right.
And Dr. Finch, what else? I think I'm on a roll. What else? Did I miss anything?
Let's see. Oh my goodness. So I'm going through the tickers.
This is amazing.
So you'll be look out for more information on the Social Power Summit. So if you're interested in all the lovely, now I have social media, now what? So I do believe we're going virtual on that as well. So that's going to be a powerful situation. Y'all going to have all kinds of stuff on the screens and all different kinds of things. You know how I do when I just get into my techie mode. So I would check it out. I would check that out. And then, of course, at the end of the day, we want to make sure that you get on this, get your email and connect with Vanessa about being on the show. We have some great interviews coming up with the speakers for the Breaking Barriers Unapologetically conference. And we have some more things. But if we supposed to hear your story, if you are changing some minds, if you are motivating some people, let us know. We want to showcase you. All right, Vanessa, it's been a real good time. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We appreciate
Yeah.
you. Thank you to our extra co-host today, Miss
Yeah.
Elaine, Miss Cal. We appreciate you so much for joining in the convo. And my goodness, it has truly been a blessing having all of y'all on the calls, on the live today. I'm used to saying the call, on the call today. So thank you, thank you. And Vanessa, you are always the
Thank you
co-host
guys
with the
so
most. Well, hold on.
Oh, I can't do this without you, Dr. Finch.
Yes.
Well, I can't do this without the other half of the dynamic duo. We bring the real, the raw, as is, because we've been there. We understand it all so well. So I can't do this without you. This is just absolutely amazing.
Vanessa, this is for you, love.
What's that? Oh, come on. Get that book out here. Get that book out here.
Yes,
Yes.
Elaine. Yes, Elaine.
Let me tell you something, Elaine. One thing that I know, your book is going to be able to help somebody else. Your story is not your story, it's somebody else's survival kit. In order for somebody else to survive, you have to be able to share your story. How do I know? Because I share my story. I wrote the books. I get it all day long. And just to be able to hear the testimonies of people who have read my books, to be able to understand that, dang, being transparent, being a person who went through so much and still you here, yeah, you have to share your story. You scared, but let me tell you about being scared. That's a good thing. Be scared and do it anyway. Because this year alone, I will have 4 books out I will have 10 books out within 4 years. So I understand. You don't know why. That's why. And let me tell you what else is going to happen to you, Elaine. You're going to be tested like never before because you said yes to your book. Do it anyway. You're going to want to throw in a towel. Do it anyway. You're going to have writer's block. Write anyway. If you can't write and there's a message that comes to you, speaking it to your phone. If you have an iPhone, speaking it to your notes. I think that's what I use. Notes. Speaking it to notes. Send it to yourself in an email. But whatever you do, don't give up. Don't throw in a towel. Because at the end of the day, as you are being scared, somebody else is going to be freed. But you have to get the book done. You have to put a date to the book. You have to be in a position to be able to just say, you know what? I'm going to do this no matter what. No matter what. No matter what. You just have to do it. Somebody's waiting for you. Somebody is waiting for you. Somebody is waiting to know that they are not alone. Somebody is waiting for you to be able to say, I've been through that. Somebody who is suffering in silence for way too long is waiting to be freed. But they waiting for you to be able to put that book out there.
Come on.
You have to put your book out there because you went through so much. So much. And you gonna keep it to yourself? You can't keep it to yourself. You just have to be willing to release it. Release it so they could be able to receive it. Amen.
Ooh, well, they coming in. They not ready for you to go, Vanessa, because she said this. She's like, it's divine words. I just lived it. And then Miss Kyle says she's becoming a co-author of a book too, Breaking the Silence. Come on. Come on. See, this is what see
Break
see
that
y'all
silence.
don't know.
Yes.
Y'all don't
Yes.
know. Y'all don't
You
know
can do
this.
it. I'm
But
telling you, you can do it.
Vanessa is a book consultant in her business, Inspired by Vanessa. And she helps people get that message out. You know, she got her message out, and because of a lovely little email, little live stream that we did 4 years ago. And she got that first book out there, and ever since she's been trucking. And you know, it was one of them, like she said, one of them divine moments, you know, that happens. But once she took that leap, she made it happen. And she's been helping other people who needed to take that leap. And so if you're looking to take that leap, leap with Vanessa. Leap with Vanessa. She's good. She's good at what she does. And she cares about the people that she's doing it for. You know, you won't be left out there in the cold with Vanessa. And I'm saying that from the heart. And then, now that the book thing, I've been through it, but that's not my gifting. But Vanessa finishes it up. Yes. Okay, see, Vanessa, she said she'll be in contact. Miss Cal's gonna be in contact. Not my gifting. I'll send them right over there to Vanessa.
All right.
The tech stuff in the book process, now that's my gifting. I can do that very fast and do it very well. But like that all of that compiling and once I got it together, I was good. But Vanessa has done her research to make sure that every dot is crossed and all that, the T's and the I's and all that. Now, so get with her. Seriously. If you have a story you need to put out, you just don't know where to start, get with her. She might tell you, hey, it's time for you to do an anthology. Hey, there might be this, that, and the other thing. And then oh my
Can
goodness.
I call to can?
Yes. And then
yes, you can. You sure can.
And then
I just received a call today. Let me tell you what happened. And I never said this publicly, but
okay,
you will be surprised at and who's watching you. You'll be surprised who's watching you. And if you just continue to be who you are authentically, the rest will show. And I don't really put out there like I used to about books because I take a different route. And the route is been an overflow. Like an overflow. Because I get so many people because they have been messed over. I really zone in to making sure their book, the vision that they have, really become a reality. And so now I received a call with someone that we are about to work together to get out over 50 people's book.
Ooh, congratulations. Out. Yes, sister.
Yes. And she would not work with anybody else but me. And I said, who? So be who you are. Just be who you are, right? And just do what you are known and called to do. And I'm telling you, that scared feeling that you have, oh baby, that's a good thing. That moment when you feel like you're a little timid, that's a good thing. The ultimate goal is not for you to quit. Get somebody who's going to hold you accountable, who's going to put you to they're going to hold you to the truth of that deadline. Somebody who believes in your book. Somebody who going to look at your book and say, you know what? You could do a little bit better. Somebody who just not going to just push it along, but just, yeah, whatever.
Right.
Because so many people are dealing with that. So just go with making sure you put it out there. Ooh, baby. And then watch what happens. Then watch what happens. It's be amazing. It's going to be amazing. There's nothing like ownership. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. It's the best thing ever of ownership. Self-publishing your own stuff, own the rights to your stuff, and do so much more with it. Whew. My goodness, my goodness. So yeah, go ahead, Elaine. That's a good thing, honey.
Yeah.
Be scared, but
yeah. You know, we've got so many different things going on, and I see all of y'all have so many different things going on. But in this pandemic, this is now the time to flush it out and explore those dreams that you've been putting on the back burner because you were so busy. Well, you're sitting at home. Go at least explore the dreams. At least think about, have a dream, have one. So many times we don't let life take our dreams from us. Now you're sitting at home doing what? You know, I mean, you know, well, I take that back because I've been
yeah.
quite busy. But but you know, you know, if you don't, okay, then and I still took time to
Yeah.
explore some new dreams. You know, I'm moving in the middle of a pandemic. I am you know, started a couple of new business ventures, got new clients, new corporate type clients at that. Come on now. And
Yeah.
so with that being said, get all the things, get your house in order, basically.
Yes.
I've updated some websites. I've updated my website. You know, everything I've been thinking about putting in there, making it bell and whistle. You know, that's get your house in order.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, use this time for your good.
Yes, yes.
You know, so and you're gonna be seeing some stuff with Changing Minds Online as well. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we're doing these live streams once a month. We might throw an extra one in there every once in a blue moon. You know, every time we feeling good, but
Right.
right, and you know, but the thing is, we have the ability to explore, just like you have the ability to explore. You know, don't see this pandemic as the struggle. See it as the light that is going to open up your new opportunities, your new business ventures, your new networks. Start going on some of these live streams that they're doing and meet and networks with people. I went on a one that I never, women kick glass or something like that. And my goodness, there was women there that I never met before, would have never experienced before, but were full of knowledge and information. And now I have new women to network with. You know, you never know. And they're constantly advertising, but we keep blowing them off. Oh, it's just another live stream. You know what? It may not be just another live stream. It might be the beginning of your next opportunity, your next elevation, your next gifting, your next member of your soul tribe. We got to stop blowing these things off. We got to start putting that thing in there. It's an opportunity to breathe. Breathe in blessings. I love that, Elaine. Come on, somebody. You know, woo, yes. My, my cousin is here. One of our speakers for the Breaking Barriers Unapologetically conference is going to be none other than my cousin, Dr. Stephen Williams. Hold on. I got to give the credit where credit is due. Dr. Stephen Williams. And my goodness, you know, he is going to be on the male panel. And my goodness, if you have never heard this speaker, yeah, there he goes with that. He said, Stephen. But you know what? I need to say that, and he knows where I'm going with that. So accept it, accept that. Now, I'm just so proud of him. I really am. He does a lot for children at risk. He has been a motivator, inspiration. He has been there for children that their own family is not there for. He, you know, before the pandemic, you know, he's an assistant principal, and he had been to 5 or 6 funerals before Christmas time. And, you know, my cousin has a good heart. And he has a heart for teaching, and he has a heart for service. And
yes, Stephen. Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait. So I'm gonna get you. I'll inbox you right after this.
With that being said, you know, y'all are in for a treat on that Breaking Barriers Unapologetic conference when you hear Stephen Williams speak. That's all I'm gonna say with that. And so, you know, I'm just gonna leave that there. But I am very proud of my cousin. We're 6 years apart, and I've been taking care of him, you know, God, since he was 3. God, but you know, but you know, and he was the one that it's a set of 4 of them, and he was the one that would give me the business, boy. But he, in a smart way, he was always that smart one, that one that was gonna move the things. Yes. Yeah, he said I was helping him learn his ABCs. Yes. I mean, seriously, he came to me and said, Kina, this is what I want to do. And we were going to do this. You know, he's always been that way. And so, you know, if he needs something, he's like, this is what we do. But, you know, just be on the lookout for him, because his story is really going to touch your heart and your spirit. Because, you know, we don't hear a lot from the men in the inspirational area.
We don't. And we need to hear from the men. Yes.
Yeah, so get ready for this male panel, because they're going to be on fire. And be on the, you know, Vanessa's bringing y'all the heat. Don't sit on Vanessa for this, for real. Do not sit on her. Oh, he's telling me don't gas him up too much, honey.
I can't wait to hear this.
Yes.
We need our men. We need our men to start speaking up. And not only that, is that our men have been taught that way, to be tough, suck it up, be quiet. But our men go through stuff every day just like you. It's going to be, when is it? July 24th and 25th.
Yes.
Go to BBU conference.com. It's going to be virtual, so we're going to update the information. You send me a friend request, you will definitely be able to get the information when I post it up. Hopefully I can post it up tomorrow with all the updated information, now that we got everything secured. But yes, we need to hear from our men. It's too many single parent households. It's too many women want to be men. They want to wear their pants. They want to wear a dress, but they want somebody to be a man too. And you can't have both. You need to figure it out. But we need to hear from our men. Our men go through emotions just like we do. But a man needs to feel as if they could be able to confide in you, and you're not going to turn around and judge them or hold it against them, you know, in order for them to open up. But hearing from our men, I'm just so excited to hear from them. Jesus, I'm just so excited to hear from our men. They gotta go out there in the world to be able to fight with all the mess that's going on, and driving while black is real. I got a son, I got a grandson, and driving while black is real. Right. And so if they got to go out there to the world, then they got to come back home and deal with all the craziness at home. For real, they should come home and they should feel so safe and they should feel secure, because they definitely not going out there to be able to feed their family and still to make it back home safe. We need our men to come back home safe. We need our men to be around to show our boys how to be men. We need our men to be around to show our girls that they are little princesses and they deserve to be treated as a queen. We need our men. Let's call it what it is. I don't want to be the man in a relationship. I want the man to be able to be that man that he could be, but I don't want to tear him down in the process. And too many men are being torn down in the process because they haven't dealt with the stuff that they battling with. A lot of these men are dealing with stuff because of the relationship with their mother. And a lot of men are still being breastfed by their mother that's been enabling them, so they can't be the man that they could be. I'm just gonna stop right there. But we need that. We need the men language. I want to hear the men language. Teach me something, because I don't know it all. But I do have a son. I was a single mother. I have a son. I have a grandson. And I'm tired of our men getting killed out on the street. I'm tired of our men being harassed on the street. And then they got to come home and the first thing a woman say, where the good man at? Where the good man at? Oh, where the good man at? Stephanie, stop! Where's the good men at? There's many a good men. Many. But we too busy being that man in the relationship, and we want to allow them to be the man. We want to go home. We want to cook the bacon. We want to buy the bacon. We want to be able to build this, build that, do that. But we not letting that man. A man need to be feel like they need it. A man need to feel like he's loved. A man need to feel like he's appreciated. A man needs to just be that man, and you need to allow him to be that man. So at the conference, the men gonna bring it. But you got to be willing to listen. You got to be willing to receive it. So we don't have to keep repeating and raising our sons and saying, well, I could raise my son to be a man. No, you can't. You could just raise him how to be treated by a woman. But you can't raise your son on how to be a man. You can't. But if we could have some men to come together, to be very transparent, to be able to share, let's sit down, let's take notes and appreciate these men that's willing to open up and to be, let's recognize them. We need to pray for our men more. Pray for them, cover them in their sleep. Pray for them when they walk out that door. Pray for them while they're out there so they can come back on home safe. Pray for them that they have a little bit more energy so they can be able just to have a conversation with you and you not beating them up. We already know they may not be able to multitask. So what?
Mm-hmm.
But damn, if he could bring it, just being that man, then let him be that man. Let him be that man, and let's stop tearing down our men. We need them.
Okay, can I tag in on this? Because I got a good point. And somebody on this call, my cousin, can testify that this is the truth. All right. So I am in the line. Okay. So our family is full of very strong women.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh yeah, you strong. I know. Jesus.
Oh no, I'm the weaker of the three. I promise you by far.
For my conversations.
Because, honey, the grandmama was rough. The mama's rough, but the grandmama was super rough, and they had to be at their time, right? And so most of the decisions and things like that, even though it is a lot of men in our family, the women made most of those types of decisions. Well, recently there's been a shift. Because my cousins are taking more initiative to start planning events, especially this one in particular on the call. And but my point is, when you're raised like that as a woman, and you are in the line, literally, it's like my grandmother, my mother, then me, in that order. You know, there's others, but that's the way it rolls. And how do how do you learn how to soften that blow? Because yes, my grandma was hard, but there were certain trigger words that my grandfather would give to her to tell her to slow her roll. Now, once he left, then it wasn't no more slowing of no more rolls. But but there were some certain trigger words that she knew that she couldn't get away with. You know, there are some women who are strong and had to be strong, and there are some women who have to raise their sons because they're the men have decided to opt out. Okay, and yes, right. And so, how do as a woman, still keep that soft feminine, that side of, praise, admiration, and things like that when you always having to be the hammer? And I mean, there's some people on this call that I know are feeling this.
That was me. I was, and that's a Vanessa just now, but the old Vanessa, baby, I was a mess. I was a mess. Let's call it what it is. I used to be that one who had to be strong for everybody else. I was that person who always had to take the initiative. I was the one everybody called on. I was that person. And so I had to be able to learn there's got to be a better way, but it took some trial and error. And just to be able for me to take a step back, yes, balance. I believe that, yes. But it took for me to take a step back to look at myself and who I was becoming, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the person that I was becoming. How many people look in the mirror and really like identify that? Not many. They won't never say it out loud. I was a mess. But then I turned around and I was like, wait a minute, I have these children. What am I going to teach them? So they don't beat down the next, right? So I want to be able to do something different. And I had to be able to say, you know what? It's okay to take a step back to say you don't know it all. Did you not know it all? I had learned that certain things that I said to my daughters, it was cool with my daughters, like to be able to get on them. But certain things that I said to my son in the same way, it was a no-go. Because boys are emotional. They won't never like internal emotional. We as women, we emotional, we'll cry it out. But inside, it's building up inside them. And I had to learn that. And me being the mother to recognize that, I had to go to my son and say, I'm sorry. I didn't know. That's not my intention to tear you down. That was, if I tell my son, I'm so sick of this mess that you're doing, you're getting on my nerves. He was thinking that I'm pushing him away. Mm-hmm. And I had to own that. So I'm like, okay, now that I own it, how do I fix this? How do I fix it? And so even like today, my son is 22 years old. And the things that me and my kids, our relationship is amazing. But my son, to see him being raised by his mother, he just did something recently. And I had to hold back tears because I was like, damn, I did a really good job raising this young man. I really did do a good job. And I'm open to like men, getting that men advice so I could be able to say, son, listen to this or read this or a suggestion. And then he could be able to take it and on his own because he trusts me enough to be able to move forward in, growing and involving and all those things. But my goodness, I was a mess. I was that woman that was like, men ain't nothing. This ain't nothing. I can raise my son. I was that broken woman that was destroying anything that came in contact with me. And I had to have a reality check with self. So when I say look, I need the men to show up. I genuinely need the men to show up. When I genuinely say, I want to hear from our men, I genuinely, thank you, love, want to hear from our men because I have a grandson to follow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to break my grandson in the interim. I don't want to do that. So
Right.
how can I be able to make it better? As I continue to grow, I need to be able to pour more wisdom into them.
Right.
So I'm real passionate about the Breaking Barriers Unapologetically conference. I'm real passionate about being strategic about selecting those speakers. I'm real passionate to hear about these men
Mm-hmm.
pour into us, and we can be able to take notes. So I could be able to go back and say, dang, now I could be able to learn more about the intellect of a man because I don't know it all. But
Mm-hmm.
if I could be able to get some more of that wisdom from a man, I'm taking notes. I'm going to sit down and have my seat at the table. Come join me.
I mean, this is coming from a man, yes. And let's speak on this right here. That was good.
That was you got me on that one. You don't got me on that one. Lord have mercy. That is so true.
The and toxicity transfers from generation to generation. When prime example,
Yep.
when the first layer got the growth, they got it real and raw because that's the way it was. Then as grandchildren, we got it a little softer, but it was still pretty raw. Then by
Yeah.
the time the great grandchildren came, then it was all sweet and nice and loving. We like, who is this person?
Yep.
Like, what?
You sound like my kids right now. Oh Lord.
But with that toxicity, we learn that, we internalize that, and then we think that that's the way we're supposed to communicate. And I had to check myself too, and that's probably one of the reasons why I don't have children, because I had children at 11 years old. I would go to school, then I come home and take care of 4 little boys, and
Mhm.
that were 9, 7, 5, and then baby, and
Yep.
and
Yep.
and it makes.
Oh, Stephanie's over here cutting up.
Yes,
Jesus.
because he knows the story that I'm telling. He
Cutting
knows
up.
the
You telling
story.
the truth.
Yes, yes, and he's right about it.
Yep.
I can safely say that with him, especially 4 people living in the same house, getting the same upbringing, the same treatment, and they go 4 different ways. It's all about that mindset and your interpretation of it. Do you have the capacity to take what you were given or take those lemons that you were given and turn it into lemonade, or do you just decide you're going to hold the lemons? Yes, all men want that encouragement. They want that feedback. They want that affirmation, but they don't want to ask for it because they are supposed to be all machismo or whatever, or macho. And then, they feel some kind of way if they do anything emotional, then you soft, bro, what you doing? You soft. Wait, what's that? What you got going on? Da 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 da. And then they're not allowed to express their feelings. And the funny thing about it, as a girl, I was allowed to share my feelings, but the women in my family didn't do that. So, I got a pass for being emotional and chose not to. Because when I got emotional, everything was moving. But, so what do you do with that? You know what I'm saying? What do you do with that? We women, we need to let these men know we have their back. I see good men every day. I see hot messes every
100%.
day, but I see good men every day.
Yep.
And I see them carrying the world on their shoulders because of the reputation that the ones that are not worth this, that, and the other thing are putting on them.
Yep.
We need to see these men as individuals and appreciate for
Yeah.
the individual that they are, and not put all the stereotypes of this brother. Oh, I'll give her another word. This brother
Ooh.
did and this brother that beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
This man that you're speaking to right now doesn't deserve all of that.
Yep.
He is not that one before, and the one before that, and the one before that. He is this one. He is this
Yeah.
individual. And he deserves to be treated as this individual
Mm-hmm.
without the preconceived notions of the one before, and the one before, and the one before.
Yep. Ooh-wee.
I'm just saying. And I had to
Jesus.
learn that. I have 17 boy cubs. Okay?
Ooh.
There's a lot of testosterone up in the land. Okay?
Oh my Jesus.
You know, so I had to hold my own. Okay? They would try it
Yeah.
when we were young, you know, had to
Ooh.
make sure they weren't successful in that. But you but but as adults, I honor their opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I do honor their opinions. And I give them the business. I do.
Yeah.
Because they can't be doing a lot of fly by nut stuff.
Yeah.
They can't be, because they are dealing with all these opinions that society's already putting on them. They're not supposed to fall into the chain.
Yep.
Not with me, not on my watch, not while talking to me.
Mm-hmm. Ooh-wee.
You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I give them props when props are due. I tell them when they're a hot mess and when a hot mess prompting is due. But I do that to all my friends. I do that to all my family. Appreciate it, don't appreciate it. But that is my way of letting you know I care. Because if I just let you do whatever, then Houston, that means I really don't care.
Yeah.
And see, that's where we as women need to say, look, I got your back, but I'm not going to tolerate foolishness. I'm here to make you better.
Exactly.
I'm here to enhance you. But you got to want it more than I want it for you. Because it's not going to work if I want it and you don't want it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all got a lot of stuff coming on in the Breaking Barriers Unapologetically conference. We've been on here for a minute. We're going to give y'all life back. But this was some great stuff. This was some great stuff. July 24th and 25th is going to be on fire. Y'all are going to get to meet some amazing men with some amazing stories. One I know in particular that I love so much. And, you know, I look forward to my tribe hearing from my family and my blood family, as well as my spiritual family over there. Because whenever she shines, we shine too, you know?
Yes, we shine together.
We shine together.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with that being said, Vanessa, it's been real, it's been raw, it's been great. And I can't wait till next month.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm excited. I'm excited. It's always a pleasure, Dynamic Duo. Yes.
More to come. Watch out for the Motivate Social podcast this Wednesday. And my goodness, it's going to be fire. And then, of course, we're going to have to get Mr. Williams and all the other speakers on there. So be looking out for his episode as well. You know that's going to be fire.
Yes.
Until next time. Bye.
Bye.